slightly senile grandpa that watches too much right-wing media says what?
What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
You know, when you hear Donald Trump, sometimes you just feel like this is that grandpa that's just like starting to lose it a little bit. And every once in a while, we'll just start quoting random Fox News, QAnon conspiracy theories when he gets frustrated and is trying to prove a point. And hey, before we get rolling, would you do me a favor? Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Help me grow this channel. Listen to our evangelical-ish podcasts, and let's make this a thing on YouTube. And this Oval Office visit with President Zelensky the other day was over the top. And I think what happened here is they set up theater to make Zelensky look bad and try to hijack him to try to turn the country against Ukraine so that they can continue to help Putin, who has a whole bunch of Republicans leveraged, I think. But everything was working perfectly until old Gramps Trump started going off on right-wing conspiracy theories again. Watch.
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal?
So Vladdy was really upset about Russia. I don't think that really bothered Vladdy at all. In fact, I think he probably was very flattered by the idea that he disrupted the 2016 election, which he did, by the way. And for those of you who are like, no, he didn't. It was all the Mueller report washed it all away. I'll prove you wrong in just a bit. But Donald, come on, Donnie. Vladdy didn't go through anything over the Russia. That's a you issue there, Donnie J.
That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam.
Hunter Biden had nothing to do with Russia 2016 Mueller investigation. Now see little senile grandpa, he's getting all his conspiracy theories mixed up in his little old head there. It's a little bit sad.
Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff.
See, now he's like throwing out names. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff, Obama birth certificate. He's just throwing out whichever one he can come up with.
It was a Democrat scam, and he had to go through that, and he did go through it. We didn't.
Again, like, WTF, how did this come up in this moment? And what the hell did all of that? Vladimir Putin had to just be laughing the whole time. And now to act like the United States owes Vladdy Putin something? Donnie J, you may owe Vladdy Putin something, and I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure you owe him quite a bit, and we're seeing you start to pay him off, much to the detriment of the country. But to act like the country owes Vladdy something? Come on.
He ended up in a war, and he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff.
We were going to go to war with Russia because we were investigating their disruption of our elections. Now you're just making shit up.
He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom.
The 2016 Russia collusion investigation came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. This is the president of the United States talking, who has access to the greatest military intelligence in the world.
It was disgusting. And then they said, oh.
Donald Trump talking about somebody's behavior being disgusting. The pea grabber who was found liable of sexual assault of a woman who his defense was, she's too ugly for me to grape. Gotcha.
Oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia.
They're doing all kinds of things to try to disrupt our nation, to divide it, to disrupt our elections. And many, many, many Republican investigators have said that it is true. Donnie, Vladimir Putin must have leverage on you big time. And we know that Eric Trump, well, I guess it was 2014, told a reporter, we don't need money from American banks. We get it all from Russia. And Russia must have big leverage on Donnie J. And that's why this stuff that we're seeing happening here is happening.
The 51 agents, the whole thing was a scam. And
51 agents, how many of you know what that is? That's a right-wing conspiracy mantra. You see, Trump is just throwing out scare words for mantras. He himself is now so in the right-wing conspiracy theory echo chamber. He's just throwing them out now.
he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened.
Again, I don't know what happened when you're the commander-in-chief with access to all of the intelligence of the American military and our CIA and all our system. That's bullshit. You know what happened. You totally know what happened.
He didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal.
He didn't break them with you because he wants to make you look good so he can have a leveraged informant piece in the highest position in the world. Of course he wants to make you look good.
I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And
a tough guy. Captain Bone Spurs, who got what, 5 deferments? Daddy bought you 5 deferments from Vietnam. Tough guy. Donald loves to act tough. 5 deferments from Vietnam.
I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out.
See, for Donald, everything is transactional. You don't just choose to be on the right side of history. You're on the right side of history only if you get something out of it. America's not going to just stand for the country that got invaded by a vicious dictator. No, only if we get something out of it. And by get something out of it, that means we get something out of it and Donnie gets to help his handler, who he's leveraged to.
I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing.
You're not being nice to me. I thought right-wingers called liberals snowflakes. You're not being nice to me. So I think I'm going to overturn all of the Earth's geopolitics because you weren't nice to me. All
right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
He thinks it's an edition of The Apprentice. It's going to be great television. He thinks it's The Apprentice. You're fired. So I mean, it's insane that Trump's going off on Vladimir Putin had to go through those investigations. And I get from right wingers sometimes like, I bet you believe Russian collusion is real. I do. I read the Mueller report. I have yet to meet a right winger who ever has. They read Bill Barr, who is one of the most corrupt, I used to say was one of the most corrupt attorney generals in history, but Pam Bondi is clearly going to make him look like a real straight arrow. But Bill Barr wrote a very corrupt summary of the Mueller report before it was released. But Mueller in no way exonerated Donald Trump. And Mueller, no Russia exoneration for Trump, despite his claims, despite Trump saying he was exonerated. No, he was not exonerated. And while Mueller was in front of Congress testifying, he bluntly dismissed President Donald Trump's claims of total exoneration in the federal probe of Russia's 2016 election interference, which the Republican head of the CIA said at the time that there was absolutely no doubt that Russia had interfered in our election. The New York Times, Mueller report shows depths of connection between Trump, the Trump campaign, and the Russians. Trump and 18 of his associates had at least 140 contacts with Russian nationals and WikiLeaks or their intermediaries during the 2016 campaign and presidential transitions. We know this for a fact that General Flynn and Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen and Donald Trump Jr. were meeting with Russians in 2016. Does it prove collusion? No, but it's undeniable that they were meeting, and they've even said they knew the Russians were trying to do some different things, that WikiLeaks was going to download the emails of John Podesta, and they didn't tell anybody. I mean, we remember Donald Trump out on the campaign trail said, Russia, if you're listening, please release the email. So they knew it was coming and said nothing. So even from that, we know Trump's a shady guy and wouldn't try to help the United States out if Russia was meddling. This one says, inside the Mueller report, a sophisticated Russian interference campaign. And here's from the American Constitution Society, key findings of the Mueller report. They uncovered extensive criminal activity. Trump associates repeatedly lied to investigators about their contacts with the Russians. A statement signed by over 1,000 former federal prosecutors concluded that if any other American engaged in the same efforts to impede federal proceedings the way Trump did, they would likely be indicted for multiple charges of obstruction of justice. Russia engaged in extensive attacks on the U.S. election system in 2016. The investigation identified numerous links between the Russian government and the Trump campaign, and the Trump campaign showed interest in WikiLeaks releases of documents and welcomed the potential damage to the Clinton campaign. And Michael Cohen pursued those, as did Roger Stone. And you can see all that here. Special counsel Mueller declined to exonerate President Trump and instead detailed multiple episodes in which Trump engaged in obstructive conduct. The Mueller report states that if special counsel's office felt they could clear the president of wrongdoing, they would have said so. Instead, the report explicitly states that it does not exonerate the president and explains that the Office of Special Counsel accepted the Department of Justice policy that a sitting president cannot be indicted. The only reason the Special Counsel Mueller's office did not indict Donald Trump for actions in part of the Russia investigation was because the Department of Justice has a long-standing policy that they do not indict a sitting president. I just never thought we would be in this place as a country. where a president would openly profit off of being president and would do things that, I mean, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory to say, give me an explanation of why Trump is doing what he's doing. And I can't think of a good one except he owes something to Putin, and there's really plausible reasons to believe that he does. The grandpa that watches too much right-wing media. There it is.